Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a problem-solving video that I'm going to kind of set up into level 2 area, but it does apply to level 1 people. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it usually comes into play the defensive problem. Okay, that's what we're essentially going to be talking about today, is defensive horses. And so when these defensive tendencies, they're never really something that horses are born with. Horses aren't born defensive. Actually, horses are usually born with a lot of curiosity, a lot of play, and a lot of confidence. The defensive tendencies come into play with a little bit of seasoning, life seasoning. Horses that maybe go through from trainer to trainer, owner to owner, maybe from owner to friend of owner, who knows, where they're coming at the horse with maybe different energy levels. Sometimes the horse feels wrong, or because there's so much change happening all the time that the horse often kind of starts moving into this mindset of anticipating to be wrong. And because of those reasons, horses tend to become quite defensive. Now, Solstice is kind of one of those horses that is kind of like the go-to girl for a lot of people because she's just a nice horse. She's reliable. She knows a lot of things, but she's got defensive tendencies. You'll notice by her ears kind of going back often. Maybe her nostrils will kind of flare up. Her tail will swish. And these are all just displaced forms of behavior that are because she's defensive. And most of it is because of the anticipation of being wrong, and you're annoying. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about respect. Okay? Because that's actually a respect problem. Now, this is something I would recommend being careful with. When you are teaching your horse and you're developing through these levels and you're growing through our Grow curriculum, that you are really, really taking care of your relationship and cultivating it. Because if you are going to give your horse to someone else who doesn't really know what they're doing, or thinks they know what they're doing and maybe learned a different program with a different approach, it will impact a little bit of your horse feeling right and the progress that you've made. It will impact that, and usually in not the right way. Okay? So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right friends that are going to work with your horse in the way your horse is used to, and challenging it in a fair way. Challenging your horse in a fair way. So we're going to talk a little bit about the defensive horse. So Solstice here, she's kind of in the early stages of level 3. And so she knows a lot of things in the level 2 stuff, but most of the things that are kind of fun, she's kind of lost a little bit of the understanding that it's fun. So one thing that we're going to look at is you can kind of see where her ears are placed right now. You can see how she's kind of anticipating, like, what am I got to do? And I noticed that you just looked at me, all right? So she's already kind of in that defensive manner. So we got to talk a little bit about respect, because that's step 1. So first off, you can't respect someone who is unclear. Okay, if I'm not clear with my communication, how am I going to respect them? Okay, that's not going to be very easy. All right, so I got to be very clear. So when I say, all right, let's go to rhythmic back exercise. So I'm going to back up. So those ears kind of going back saying, oh, I don't like it when you touch me. So I'm starting light. And so I'm going to actually get a little firm, because that's actually disrespectful. Okay, and let's see if she kind of licks her lips or maybe tries to process that. See, now she's starting to ask questions. There we go. Okay, so I kind of waited for that. So one area of respect that comes into body language with horses is you've got to ask yourself, who's asking the questions? All right, who's asking the questions? If you are asking the question, what's my horse going to do next? How is she going to respond to this? Then your horse is running the show, and you're not getting the respect you need. You respect your horse doesn't respect you. Okay, so you do want to get the horse asking the questions. All right, so that's very, very important. That's one big sign of respect, is making sure you get the horse asking the questions. And then also, you need to be respectful with your answers. Okay, if your horse is asking a question, give them a respectful answer. Right? Because a question a horse asks is always respectful. All right, so I'm going to say, all right, it's time to back up. So when she starts making demands, so already you can see that was a little bit more respectful. Her ears are still back. She's still kind of questioning the communication. That's okay. All right, now I'm going to say, all right, it's time to go over here. I'm going to be clear. All right, so you can see how those ears kind of flickered back, and she kind of said, oh, I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very clear with her. So she knows all this stuff, but she is kind of in this frame of mind where she can just kind of act annoyed whenever she wants to. That's not how it's going to work. So I'm going to say, all right, let's go ahead and slow you down with just using my stick out in front of you. Okay, it's time for respect. All right, I'm now going to get a little firmer because I need her to start asking questions. Right? If she never anticipates the firmness, there's no reason to ask questions. And then she's going to be, oh, he's just lame. So she knows how she licked her lips. Here we go. She just gave a chew. So you're going to notice how these ears are going to start going a little bit further forward, all because I'm going to become a little more concise. Say, good. See how she slowed down? I didn't really say yet fully. There we go. Now let's say here. Let's go ahead and slow you down. So you can see how those ears are forward. I'm telling her something, and she's not acting as annoyed. Now she's saying, oh, how was that? Was that okay? I'm letting her do that. I'm letting her ask the question. Give your horse the room to ask questions. It's very, very important. If you don't let the horse ask questions, then your horse starts to get dull to the communication. Your horse's aptitude, their willingness to want to do things, goes down. All right, so we want to fix that problem. So I just kind of did an example of how we instill respect using an aspect of impulsion on a circle. Okay, maybe we can do the same thing with a lateral aspect of our circle. So we can say, all right, let's go ahead and head on out there. When I say go, I mean go. So she can see she's kind of chewing there. Now when I back up, I'm going to look at those. I'm going to like give me those two eyes. Good, but I'm going to be respectful there because she came in kind of respectful. You can see how she kind of snared her nostrils there. She's kind of like, I don't like that. Okay, I'm going to back up, get two eyes, respectfully answer, say, oh, wipe that look off your face. I don't like that look. I don't like that look. See if she kind of licks her chew. She says, huh. I guess I gotta focus on not just the quantity of what I'm doing, but the quality of what I'm doing. The quality is change your expression, clean it up. There's a question, and I'm politely answering it. See, I'm not getting firm. This isn't disobedience. This is questions. This is try, because she doesn't know why, right? Perfect. Good. So these questions, notice now she's not focusing on putting her ears back saying, I have so many druthers. Now she's starting to say, all of a sudden I got to watch my look. How many times have you seen little kids have attitude with the mom, and all of a sudden what does mom do? I wouldn't do that if I were you. Look at those ears. She's saying, I've got to work on putting those forward. I've got to work on my expression because there's a quality in the quantity. Again, change direction, watch those ears. I would be careful if I were you. That's nicer. That's nicer. And that's everything we're going to start doing with this horse. I'm going to say very politely, I'm going to be very nice to you. And I'm going to ask that you do the same for me. Okay? Here we go again. So now I'm going to say, all right, let's go ahead and maybe do something a little more advanced. A little side pass without a rail. Let's see how that works. Okay, not bad, not bad. So what we're doing is we're asking her to do all these different things, and I'm saying, if you give me a bad look, I'm going to tell you to wipe it off your face. I don't like that. I'm asking for you to be respectful. I'm going to ask you to come on in. Okay, you better come in respectfully. Be careful. Now, those are careful ears. Those aren't necessarily defensive ears, which careful ears are a little defensive. And I don't want her to always be anticipating, oh, Jordan's going to get after me for no reason. No, I'm going to get after her for a reason. And that reason is when she's got a gnarly face. Wipe that look off your face. It's not a nice face. So again, I'm going to say, let's go ahead and back up using rhythmic pressure. You can use your stick, you can use your rope, whatever you want to do. Let's go back up. Come on in. Come on in. That's nice. A little bit more polite. So that carefulness will go away as she starts understanding that she's doing the right thing. Because it's true. When all of a sudden I'm getting after her all of a sudden abruptly, because I'm not just nagging all day long with her being defensive all day long. All of a sudden now it's like boom, leadership. When I initiate something, you respond. When I initiate something, you respond. You don't have time to switch your tail and throw your ears back and say, I'd rather not. You don't have that time. Because you're on my time. My timing is what we're talking about today. As long as you understand my timing, I'm going to understand you. And we can be on the same page and we can be really, really happy in our relationship growth. Okay? So this is just a lot of the mindset you're going to want to have as you go into working with your level 2 or older horse. The reason why I said this applies to level 1 people as a problem is because a lot of times your first horse is a horse that's been around the block, right? Who's been through some things. And when you bring in maybe JBH method, your horse will be like, no, this isn't what I do. I came maybe from a robotics, traditional training background. You're annoying me with this training stick, throwing it over my back thing. I don't like that. Okay? You now have the ability to understand what is respect, what does it look like, how to keep it on the right track, and it's okay to say, wipe that look off your face. I don't like that. That's impolite. It's disrespectful. And ask more questions. You're telling your horse that. Ask more questions. I'm not the one who's going to ask the questions. Okay? So that's the defensive horse.